Hi there, welcome to another drawing video, and remember it's draw, check, correct. Let's go. Here we go, another drawing. Load up Artist Eye. Load up our image that we'll work from. Take it out of overlay mode to start off with, and here's our reference drawing from Unsplash. I'm going to put it into monochrome. You see there's not a lot of contrast there, so let's just use Artist Eye to increase the contrast a little bit, just so that we can have a bit more definition in the image. That looks better to me, and of course we can always take a photo of that so it's at that stage for us to work next time if we choose to do so. So that's our image, and let's get the clock started. Let's go with 10 minutes. And off we go. So this was a bit more front on than our previous portrait. Maybe I can do a little bit more of Loomis explanation in this. So start off with a rough sort of oval and a rough vertical, which gives us our width of our face, our chin, that's a very, very, very rough start, so we know roughly it's going to be on the paper. And let's see if we can neaten this up a little bit. The shapes this morning, a little bit of nerves. Right, there's the head shape in place. You can see it's roughly the skull, isn't it? Now we've got a hairline, which is quite useful for us. And then, as we know from Loomis, if we split it up into thirds from there, didn't get it quite right, but if we split it up in thirds from there, we should end up with our ideal proportions. So look at the angle of his eyebrows there. So his face is slightly angled. We'll lose the chin in the beard. Okay. Now let's see if we can put the eye sockets in place. Then that will give us our kind of skull framework or armature to work on. Looks like I've grown it just a little bit there. Very easy to get into details. And as soon as you're into details, because we're really focusing in, we tend to, or at least I tend to sort of expand those areas of interest. And consequently, it sort of stretches out. Of course, we're going to do the comparison again in this video, because that's what we're about. This is about head practice of people where we're trying to get a likeness, but that's not the be all and the end all. It's more that we practice our drawing and don't get too hung up on the likeness, because we want to feel that we've achieved something, and seen something, and recorded something in the process that will help for our next drawings. And you will be getting better at your accuracy, and because you're getting better at your accuracy, you'll also be getting better at your likeness, because after all, likeness relies upon accuracy. You'll notice that I'm sort of staying away from the eyes for now, and that's because I just found that, for instance, if he was wearing sunglasses, you'd still probably recognize him. So let's try and get that correct. And not get hung up on ears as such. As I said in the previous video, and I'm going to repeat here, this is about doing a 10-minute head drawing so that we just blast a head drawing off. If it looks like the person, great. If it doesn't, great. We've still done a head drawing.
5 minutes remaining.
So where are the points of the eye? There. There. Which gives us our width of the eye here. And our width of the eye there. Probably just a little bit in from that point. Let's try and make those eyes look a little bit more even. Okay, let's see, eyes in place. Nose looks like it's a little bit too far over to the left, so let's nudge that back over. Eyebrow went a little bit out of control, but let's put in the top of the eye first. You can see I'm drawing at quite a small scale, and that's intentional because I want to keep these drawings quick and not precious. It's roughly 4 inches by 3 inches or so. So the mouth is on a slight muzzly kind of curve. So that will be the center of the mouth there. The front of that though is the sort of top lip cleft, I suppose you'd call it. Let's lighten all that up and let's get some definite lines in there.
Minutes.
Wow. Okay. Now I've done that, looks like I've grown the face features a little bit, and now his forehead is looking a little bit small. So let's put that right. Right, let's put his moustache in. Which means I can lose his chin.
Last last minute.
Oh, I've got a feeling I'm going to run over. Let's see. Could be a dash to the finishing line. Okay, just wider here.
"30 seconds.
That's the good thing about talking timer, because I'd have been completely oblivious otherwise. Right, this needs to be up around here. A bit more. Okay, that's getting close to a likeness. And draw this in, draw his neck in. 5 seconds.
Finished."
Right, there we go. Having drawn it, now let's check our work like we did before. Take the iPad off the stand and put it into overlay mode. And then we can see our drawing beneath it, can't we? Let's reduce the size of our image just so we can get a better match to our drawing. Okay, so line it up as best as you can. Freeze the camera by clicking on the icon there. And now we can adjust our reference image so that it best fits our drawing. And this is a little bit of, I don't know, it's a little bit where you have to have a bit of license, because you've just got to find the best fit, and the best fit for one thing might not be the best fit for another. So it's a little bit tricky to decide on what the best fit is, but let's go with that. That looks pretty close. And now I've done that, we can freeze our image. Let's go back onto the stand. And let's toggle between the two. So now we can see, we zoom in, we can see where we got right and where we weren't quite so accurate. So it's very interesting that I put things right, or I thought I put things right, and actually made them worse. So where I, towards the end, made it wider, actually, it was pretty close. In fact, if we sort of keep our reference there, so that's the end of the ear, and that's exactly where I had the original line, which is about there. I can just see the impression on the page. So that means that comes in. The eye is not terrible. I can do that. Eyebrow looks a little bit low. This could just do with a little bit of clarity, I think. Positionally, pretty good. Maybe I made his top lip a little bit large. Look, and his bottom lip was a little bit small. That's correct. I didn't get the length of his beard right. That's far longer than I thought. That needs to come out more here to give him a squarer jaw. His hair was the right height. I think I remember towards the end I corrected that, or I thought I'd corrected it and made it worse. Nose could do with being a touch longer. and the neck in there, and that was right. Let's just zoom out so I can have another look at it. Yeah, so there we go, a 10-minute drawing with a 5-minute check. And if you were to do one of those a day for a month, you'd see a great improvement in your accuracy of portrait drawing. Thank you for watching.